Yo. You know what it is. It's your boy, Big Brandon Carter. And I'm in this bitch. We a little late. But, shut the fuck up, man. This is free. All right? You get what you pay for. It's still going to be good, though. Let's start the show. Yeah. You know what it is. It's your boy, Big Brandon Carter, King Keto, the king of ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus, Jesus de Gimnasio. All right. And this is another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. This is episode 130. Damn, we've been doing this shit. But I'm here, you here. But we not alone. We also joined my girlfriend Minovia. You know what I'm saying? She manning the chats, making sure that all the haters get kicked out, banished, exiled indefinitely. She can't wait to do it, man. She got an itchy trigger finger. You know how Latinas are, man. They love ruining men's lives. It's in their DNA, right? So she can't do it to me. So she's going to take it. But that aggression's got to go somewhere. And it's going to go to you if you start talking crazy in the chat. All right. But also, listen, man, we got to give some rest in peace to Nima. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to the producer, Nima. I'm pretty sure he's alive, but he picked probably the worst time to go to Iran. Yeah. Couldn't have picked the worst time. That's where he's from. That's his homeland. That's where his people are from. And him too. He immigrated here, and he said, man, I should go visit Iran. He's been planning it for months. And he decided to go right when shit started popping off. Now here's the thing. Y'all let me know in the chat. You think he went to go enlist? Or he knew something we didn't know? And he went to enlist, he wanted to help fight the war, or you think he just had bad timing? Type in the chat. Let us know what you think. However, he's joined by his man. He's joined by, somebody who's been his apprentice for mad long, who's producing the homie Aiden. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
It's not Aiden Ross. It's Aiden. How you say your last name, man?
Snell. Aiden Snell. We in here, man.
Yeah, Aiden Snell, man. Yo, Aiden Snell. Check this out. He Dominican and black. Guess which one of his parents is black? He's Dominican black. I got the theory that he's my son from the future. who came back in time to help with the podcast because he knew Nima was going to be in a war. That's the working theory. He denies it.
Hey man, at this point I don't even know, man. You might be right, bro.
But he's doing a great job so far, but we only like 2 minutes in. We'll see what happens. But we got a lot of belief in him. Nima trained him well. And it's dope, man. You know what I'm saying? He's filmed a bunch of videos with us. If y'all seen that day in the life video I posted maybe a few weeks ago, he filmed a good third of it, like two-thirds of it. He got like 80,000 views, which is a lot for me now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm old. And that's a lot of views for me. And he filmed about 2/3 of it. We filmed some other shit today. So I'm excited to work with him, man. Let's go. Yes,
sir.
My girl wrote, I said kind of old, and my girl wrote kind of in sarcastic quotes. See, man, that's what they do. Like, that's what they do, guys. If you're not cursed with liking Latina women, you know what I'm saying? Don't try it. All right, don't try it because it's like a drug that you can't kick. You know what I'm saying? You know it's bad for you, but you do it anyway. That's where we're at. You know what I'm saying? Aiden knew better. He got himself white girl. She regular white?
Yeah, she's European.
European.
European and French.
European and nigga, France is in Europe. Oh fuck. I don't know how this shit is gonna go today, guys. she's European and French.
European and French to be specific.
Yeah, okay.
White girls still be a little crazy though.
Listen, man. White girls who like niggas is crazy. White girls who like niggas is crazy, man. Maybe all the white girls is crazy, and I only know the ones who like niggas. This nigga said European and French. I don't listen, guys. I don't know. Dios mío. I don't know how this episode is gonna go. What is happening? My girl did some shit like that yesterday. I ain't gonna say it because I want to embarrass her. All right. All right. We got a lot we want to cover today. All right. We got 2 sponsors for this podcast. Right. The first sponsor is a newsletter written by me and the homies. All right. We've been working on this for a long time. It's really been, it's a labor of love. You know, it's called Big Money Methods. All right. So it's a newsletter written by me and the homies. What I need you to do is click the link in the description and click the link in the description and put your email in there. And every week we're going to send you methods on how to make big money. All right. It's 100% free, you know, and some good information in there written by me. One of my copywriters, his name is Scene, and the homie Chris, man. We writing every, you know, because here's the thing. I'm sorry. Something happened here that's behind the scenes. Yeah, listen, fuck that shit. Yo, Big Money Methods. Fuck with it. Go fuck with that newsletter. And also, we also got sponsor Thot Repellent. All right. Thot Repellent. Thot Repellent is the easy to apply spray that keeps the hose away. This is very important because listen, guys, at some point you're going to start balling and shot calling, right? If you really like take the advice I give you here on the Victory Talk podcast, and God forbid you go to the Victory Unit Discord, the free Discord, link in the description. I got free courses in there on how to get. I got one called Baller Mindset. It's free. It's better than any course you will buy on the internet, man, about making big money. I got a fat burning course called Direct Hit. I used to sell that shit for $200, but now I'm giving it to you for free. You know, the Victinators for free. And once you get your mind right, your muscle right, it's like, man, you're going to go from how do I get girls to listen, man, you're going to be on some. It's going to be like, yo, how do I keep all these girls away from me? No más chicas, por favor. No más culo para mí. No más. Yeah, I've had enough, right? But they ain't going to take no for an answer. And that's why you need Thot Repellent. Thot Repellent is the easy to apply spray that will repel thought sluts, whores, slut whores for about 12 to 48 hours, right? It will repel 3 to 5 thoughts for 12 hours. All right. Now, if you're in a situation where where you're being bombarded with thoughts, you might have to apply it and reapply like more liberally. Right. You can also spray it around the perimeter of your home. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. Right. You know, because my bitches would be out here scaling the walls. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get in like World War Z in this bitch. You see a fucking real baller out here? You know how like them fucking them earthy hoes, vegan hoes, they be like burning sage to get rid of the bad vibes or some fucking sorcery shit. It'd be like this. You can just spray this around your home in the morning to make sure there's no thoughts sneak in uninvited. And this is very important. Thot Repellent. So this is a real product that's going to come out probably within the next 63 to 120 days, somewhere in that time frame. All right. And but we've already got past the research part. We already did that. Now we just got to develop. This is just a prototype, right? We developing smaller ones, travel size even, right? Because if you like me, you hopping on and off the jet, you know, a fucking thought flight attendant or plane waitress, like I like to call them. A thought plane waitress might try to infiltrate you. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful out here. All right. So anyway, thought repellent. All your super chats are going to go towards the development of thought repellent, so we can get this out to you within the next 67 to 113 days, somewhere in that time frame. All right. All your super chats are going to go towards that thought repellent. All right. It's coming soon. This is a real product. They think it's a joke, Aiden, but it's not. It's real. This is a real thing, man.
And the market's not ready for this.
They're not ready for this. You know what I'm saying? You remember, Aiden lives close to me, right? And he seen me walking in the morning, right? There wasn't no thoughts on me, were there?
Not a single one.
Not a single thought on me.
A 5 mile
Because I
radius.
fucking bathed in this shit before I went outside. You get what I'm saying? Bathed in this shit. And then I saw a manatee. When I got close to it, the manatee ran away. It was a manatee thought, man. that manatee was a motherfucking skank.
Man, before I could even walk up to you,
Yeah.
it was gone. I
It was
didn't even
gone.
get to see it.
Yeah. That's how it works, man. Anyway, we all know manatees are whores. I don't think I gotta tell y'all that. You know what I'm saying? They look like dinosaur turds and they fucking whores. All right, so all your super chats are gonna go towards research and development of thought repellent. We're gonna get that out to the market. Hey, I got a lot of stuff I want to cover today, but I think some heroes have already contributed to thought repellent. I think they need to be acknowledged. Minovia will read them off.
We have Albezi.
What up?
BBC, I've been on keto diet for a month now. I hear bodybuilder talking about watching your sodium when you're trying to get shredded, but keto, you may need salt. Does that matter? I've been tracking.
Oh yeah, you need more salt when you're on the ketogenic diet, because when you're on the ketogenic diet, what happens is your body will start to get rid of its excess water weight. This is why a lot of bodybuilders cut carbs before their show, because they want to get rid of more body weight so they look more ripped. Right. But when you're on keto, you're like that in a perpetual state. So you need more salt, because your body's getting rid, when your body is expelling that excess water weight, what it's also expelling the sodium and the electrolytes, right? So the magnesium, potassium, it's expelling that. So you definitely need more when you're on keto. However, you don't have to worry about the salt intake like that on the ketogenic diet, because it's really salt in the combination of carbohydrates that make you hold water. You get what I'm saying? So bodybuilders will cut salts to try to mitigate the water retention that comes from consuming carbs. But when you're on a ketogenic diet, it's actually not a big deal. In fact, you want to increase your sodium intake. You know, Busy, I think you're black. I can't tell, right? Like, honestly, you might just be a white guy with a G-Shock, you know, and the contrast is up on your photograph, right? Or Hispanic, you know. You like one of those black or Hispanic guys. So if you black, just throw some hot sauce on everything, man. No calories. No calories. And it has a lot of sodium in it. And also I drink them LMNT drinks. They don't sponsor this. I'll take the money if you fucking nerds are listening. I'll take all the fucking money you have. I am for sale, but I'm just telling y'all this for free. All right. But now Dominicans, that y'all don't like hot, spicy food.
No, we do.
This nigga lying.
I guess it really depends.
It depends, man. Why this nigga? He kind of, that was his black side talking. He's like, what's going on in his head is like the Hulk and Bruce Banner. You don't know. I don't know who I'm talking to sometimes. right, but Hispanics like spicy food too. A lot of them do. I don't know, but yeah, put some hot sauce on that shit, man. You'll be good. Low, and there's no calories either. All right, what else we got?
We have Ruben with a 2-part super chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I lost my girlfriend of 5 years because of grinding too much by working jobs and pursuing education.
Yeah.
I only wanted to grind for creating a family, but now I'm struggling to find a reason to keep going. She was my first relationship ever, and I still want to get money. It just feels like victory is harder to concentrate now. No question, just advice.
Hey, man. So here's the thing. It's going to be difficult for me. I'm going to try my best to give you the best advice I can. However, like I'm the type of nigga. When it's difficult for me to listen to the radio because, you know, a lot of the songs be some dude crying about some girl. Oh, I love her so much. She's everything to me. Or, oh, I lost this girl. She's life sucks. And I'm like, yo, why these niggas think about some bitch when they should be thinking about getting money? Like it's just it's really confusing to me, and like it's super confusing to me. You know, listen, man. First of all, Ruben, you did the right thing. You did the right fucking thing. All right, because check this out. It's always money over bitches. There's no version of reality where you should put some bitch over money. This includes your fucking mom, your baby mom, your girlfriend. There's no version of reality where you put bitches over money and it turns out good. Here's the thing. Let me tell you. What you went through is normal, right? Because a lot of times you get some bitch telling you, oh, you work too much. You never spend some time with me. I'm glad she left you, Ruben. I'm glad she left you. Now she can go be poor with some other motherfucker, right? Or, you know, here's the thing. Women, I don't want to generalize half the population. Yeah, so I'm saying, you know, on average, there's a few exceptions, right? There are exceptions. But as a general rule, women don't want to fucking grind with you to fucking come up. These hoes are going to wait at the finish line for the fucking winner. That's what they want. They don't want to fucking struggle with your ass. You get what I'm saying? And here's the thing, Ruben. Let's say you said, okay, I'll just work less, be poor, and make you happy, right? At some point, she's gonna fucking leave you because of that. Like she was gonna leave no matter what. And even if she didn't leave, you would resent her, right? Because now y'all struggling for money, right? And it's her fault. Well, it's your fault for giving in. But it's, you know, like she convinced you to do it, right? You would resent her. So there's nothing. Here's the thing about compromise. Relationships supposed to be compromised. People say that shit. I don't believe that. I don't think you should compromise too much, right? You can compromise on the little shit, the shit you don't give a fuck about. But if you compromise on the shit you really give a fuck about, if either party in the relationship, then what happens is the person who did the compromising ends up resenting the person they compromised for. So it's a lose-lose. You get what I'm saying? You would never have fulfilled your potential and you would have blamed her for it. Right? So you might have fucked around and left her. Man, fuck, you know, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you need to find someone who's a good match. And maybe you need to get some fucking bread first, right? Because a lot of bitches ain't gonna want to fucking struggle with your ass. Straight up, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, my girlfriend is typing some shit. You should try to get her back, and you can give him tips to get her back. I'm going to ignore that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to ignore that shit. She's telling me, okay, what she's saying was when you get the next girl, you get a girl. This is good advice for all entrepreneur guys, right? First, okay, I'm gonna give you some advice for entrepreneur guys, but first I just want to talk to Ruben for a second. My nigga, half the population are fucking hoes. They everywhere, man. They literally everywhere you look. You know what I'm saying? I seen a nigga the other day. I was on my walk in the morning. I walk on the ocean in the morning, ocean front, sunrise, cardio. And I seen first thing in the morning, I seen this bitch yelling at her boyfriend. Screaming on this nigga, and he's like, "Oh," I kept thinking, "Nigga, why don't you leave her? Like, the fuck is you doing, nigga? You don't need this shit. This bitch is screaming on you first thing in the morning, nigga. Even if it's your fault and she can't talk to you like an adult, she's screaming like a child. Like, yo, leave her, man. Start over. Hit the reset button, man. They everywhere. They everywhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. Check this out, Ruben. And check this out, all guys watching. Yo, if a bitch leave you, you should celebrate, right? Because check it out. If you're the kind of guy who's watching this type of shit, following my content, then you're the type of dude who's been making himself better, improving himself every fucking day, right? So it stands to reason you should be better now than when you found the bitch, right? So when she leaves you, now you better. You probably in a position to get a better bitch. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're probably in a position to get a better bitch if you've been working on yourself the whole time. That's why it's so important to always work on yourself, no matter what situation is. Because if somebody leave you, or a business partner, this is not just relationship, business partners, friends, life. Yo, if you're working on yourself, you'll probably end up being better by the time they fucking leave you, right? So if you've been on your fucking grind, Ruben, this should be one of the best things that ever happened to you. Because now you can probably get a better bitch than the one who just left you because you wanted to make too much money. Bitches are retarded, right? But all right, but my girl type, now he's gonna find a gold digger. This is why you don't take advice from women. I'm telling you, what I'm saying. Myron was right. No. Listen, she types, now you're gonna get a gold digger. Some of y'all are thinking that. I get that. And now he's gonna find a gold digger. Bro, check it out. All girls want guys with money. My girl wouldn't be with me if I was homeless, right? I gotta have some money, right? So let's not pretend that you can't have, you can do this shit without money, right? You know, you can't make this shit happen. And it's like, you know, listen, fuck this shit. Listen, fuck what my girlfriend's talking about, man. I love her. All right, you know what I'm saying? But fuck what she talking about, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck with. Listen, we're gonna get off this topic because she typing crazy shit to me. She said, I'm acting like she cheated. Fuck him. No, man. She's trying to cheat him out of his potential. All right. Listen, my nigga. You did the right thing, Ruben. Trust me. The Bible says, Ecclesiastes 10:19. It said, a feast is made for laughter, drinks are made for merry, but money solves all things. I'm telling you, my nigga, keep focusing on getting that money, get that money, keep getting better. And I promise you, man, you'll be in a way better position. You know what I'm saying? Gold digger or not, who cares, right? Like, when guys would be like, oh, I don't want a gold digger. I'm like, nigga, what do you want? You want, I mean, listen, it's cool. I don't the result is going to be the same. Whether she likes you for you or she's a gold digger, the result is going to be the same. You get pussy from a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? 6 plus 6 equals 12. 6 times 2 equals 12. 10 plus 2 equals 12. There's a lot of ways to get to 12. right? You know what I'm saying? So what I say is like, as long as you get the fucking 12, who cares how you got there? You know what I'm saying? Who gives a fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? If you find out with the chick, oh, she only wants me for money. Listen, you only want her for that ass and them titties, man. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? You probably the guys pick, you know, and don't say, oh, it's not just that. You ain't fucking out here fucking ugly bitches because they got good personalities, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill out. Like, guys are more. The average guy is more superficial than the gold digger, right? Because at least, the gold digger wants a guy who has a lot of money and he's resourceful and he's a hard worker and he provides for her and their offspring. What an awful bitch. She wants to provide, right? You just wanted ass. So who's more superficial? Niggas be like, oh, I just want a girl who loves me for me. I'm like, what, you want validation from a girl? Grow up. maybe I'm tweaking. All right, let's get the next one. Go to the next question. Oh, yo, Nima in the chat. Yo, big Nima, what up, big homie? Yo, we glad you're still alive, man. I heard it's popping out there in the rack. Huh?
Nima says he's here in Iran working on Thot repellent. Product is almost ready.
He went down there for the Thot repellent reason. I thought he was enlisting in the he might be doing a little bit of war on the side. He's good at multitasking. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's fixing that Thot repellent. All right, what up? Oh, wait, Ruben, here's the thing. Fuck that bitch, right? All you guys, bitch start fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up. Fuck that bitch. Anytime they start talking crazy, start talking stupid, fuck that bitch. Focus on the money. And that's not even misogynistic, man. That's like self-preservation shit. You know what I'm saying? Because if you focus on the money solves all things. Didn't say bitches solve all things. God ain't never said that. Ecclesiastes 10:19. Money solves all things. All right. Let's go.
We have Blackjack Mastery back. Tips on what type of content to create for a sports picks business. I create reels that show me driving my Mercedes, clips of games, winning betting tickets, and sports betting tips. But very low engagement. Sales are very low.
Yo, like, building your social media is a grind, bro. And I would need to know more context. Basically, you got to post every day. You know what I'm saying? Maybe multiple posts a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, multiple days. Focus on reels for Instagram. The cool thing about making reels is you can post that same exact reel on TikTok and the same exact video on YouTube Shorts, and you can start doing it like that. But you gotta go harder, more often, multiple times a day. Like, it shit ain't gonna happen overnight either, man. You can't go from like no engagement to like Brandon Carter engagement overnight, man. I've been on the internet 10 years, right? I posted daily last year, and my account is 4 years old. I've been posting daily the last year.
He's been posting daily in the last year, and his account is 4 years old.
Yeah. Well, listen, maybe you need to post more. DM me on Instagram, Blackjack Mastering. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. And I don't know that I'll see it, but I might. There's a chance. And then I'll see what I can do. You know what I'm saying? But football season is coming, and that's I know that's for sports pickers. That's a good time. Like, this is the worst time in general for a sports, because I've worked with a sports picking business before, and this is the worst time, like in between basketball and football. Like, when it's just baseball, it's like baseball's all over the place. All right. But yeah. I should do a fucking video on how to grow Instagram engagement. Maybe I'll do that one day. All right. What else we got?
We have Jaden, just joined HTT, working on my niche. What do you think about helping people gain 30 pounds in 6 months with a modified version of the Mediterranean diet that boosts focus, motivation, and reduces depression?
30 pounds in 6 months? Nigga, that don't sound true. Right, that don't sound true, Jaden. And shout out to you joining HET. I'm glad you hollered at me before you typed that shit. But that shit don't sound true, right? Like I ain't never seen nobody. I haven't seen people on steroids do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it may. I don't think that's true. But if you wanted to help somebody gain weight in 6 months, or gain, you know, some put on some weight in 6 months, you can do that. But like 30 pounds, I don't think that's biologically possible, man, for a human being. But yo, listen, make sure you want to call on Tuesday, because I do the live calls on Tuesdays, but we have a call every week, right? So work on that a little bit more. I don't mind the modified Mediterranean diet for that part of your niche, but it's that 30 pounds in 6 months, man. Like, I don't think that's reality. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's reality, bro. But I noticed, I forget who's doing the training call tomorrow. It might be Brian, but you can ask Brian. Or you can just email your coach. You know, if you just joined HTT, you should have your own one-on-one coach, and email your coach and see what they say. You can also post it in the group. But yeah, you're gonna have to work on that a little bit. I'm glad you asked before you did that shit, but that shit is not reality, my nigga. You can't be out here lying. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think you're lying. Maybe it's just like a deficit of comprehension, how it works. All right. But yo, listen, we got more super chats left, and I got a lot of stuff I want to teach, man. But yo, I know the market has been going crazy the last few days. All right, it's been going nuts, and to make sense of it, we got my dog, my boy, the man who really been my trading mentor for the last 3-4 years, the homie, former hedge fund manager, Romulus, with the market recap. Let's go. Yo, Romulus, what up, man? What's going on?
Mr. Brennan, it's great to be here once again. Welcome, everybody, to the Victory Unit podcast. And we are going to be talking about, yes, that's right, stocks. And if you have the massive desire, if you have a ton of willpower, a little bit of money, we can show you how to get crazy ass rich from the stock market.
Come on, man. All right.
Yes, rich from the stock market. Yeah. So, by the way, every Wednesday, including tomorrow, we do something called Traders Town Hall that is in the Discord. So we
Victory
have
Discord. Yeah.
A lot of different contact touches, you and I and the Victory Unit team, and the different ways that we interact with the public. One of them is right here on the podcast. Another one is through our Discord, the Victory Unit Discord, tomorrow afternoon, 4:15 p.m. Eastern time. We will have a Traders Town Hall. Last week was just phenomenal, and we are going to show you guys something. A couple of the people that joined us on the podcast last week have already become funded futures traders in less than a week, like 3 days.
Come on.
3 days, and they're ready to make cash using someone else's money. Because what's the best kind of money?
Someone else's money.
Someone else's money, right?
Come on, man. Let's go.
I think somebody wrote a song. Sorry, wrong song. All right. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So I like that shirt, brother. That's banging.
Oh, thanks, man. It's a, you know, I used to work security at the Prada store in 2008.
Oh, okay.
And so every time I wear Prada, it reminds me, man, that I
yeah, you were working security. You were working as a mover. You were bouncing. You were training other people. And then your part-time, I believe you were yachting or something, right? So
not yachting. It wasn't like that. It was all broke boy stuff.
Yeah, I bring all that up because I know his story. Brandon knows my story. And I mentioned a second ago that if you got some get out there and kick some ass inside of you, that's what it takes, especially those first. And I tell everybody, 3 years. 3 years of 90-hour plus work weeks, and then you're good.
Yeah, that's all you need, man. You be lucky. Well, listen, Romulus, what's been happening with the market, man? Can you show us our charts and help us make some sense out of this?
We will be helping all kinds of people make sense of this market here. All right, so let me, as always, takes a second to do my sharing of the screen. There, share. Okay, and then hit that button and hit that button. All right,
there we go. There we go.
So you tell me, Brandon, do you see the stock chart?
I see, man. The SPY. What's up?
All right, that means everybody else is most likely seeing it as well. So
100%.
All right, we've been talking on this podcast for a bit now, and we bring as much insight as we can in the few minutes that we have. It's not as if we've got an unlimited amount of time, and the audience is not getting prefaced with written content, the research, the charts, the layout. But if you are in the Victory Unit Legion, like you are, Brandon, and you're reading our reports every single morning, and you've been doing that for well over 3 years now, you know how that works. It's just a couple minutes. It's like 2-3 paragraphs long, but get you prepped. So this long yellow line that I have drawn on this S&P 500 chart, and the S&P 500, by the way, is the most important thing to watch, not just in the stock market, but in anything relating to finance or money. End of story, period. There you go. Okay. I mean, all these economists have a million other little things that they want to watch, and it's all really bogus compared to this. Okay, that's how easy it can be. But this line started back in October of 2023. We drew it before it cracked. We drew it right here. Okay, this is the day that it was drawn. It was drawn on July 24th. And in that report, and you can attest to this, you can be a witness to this because I know you read it that day. You said, look, this is the first touch of that line in a while. And if it breaks, then, God help you. Next day it broke, a little bit of a rally attempt, and we didn't fall for that for a lot of reasons. And then it was just the floodgates open wide the hell to hell. Okay. This was one of the more severe few-day pullbacks that the stock market has experienced, probably the most severe since the COVID crash days of March of 2020. And this was all prefaced, highlighted, and warned about right there for everybody in the Victory Unit Legion. If you're a Centurion Legion, you knew about this weeks before everybody. And by the way, I'm talking about the top experts, the top-rated professionals on planet Earth. And they didn't have what we had. And all we had, well, we have a lot here, but in this case, we have this line. Okay. We have this line that we drew, and all of our folks were ready for this and profited from it in many different ways. It's kind of silly how much money we've been making from this market drop. All right. So why is that? Because the market, it gripped this line back, like I said, October of 23, touched it many times back here. You see in April of 24, touched it again a couple of months ago there in May, touched it again, and then broke down from it. I want you to picture somebody hitting a wall, not a brick wall, but more of a wooden wall. A wooden wall, you keep hitting it a number of times, the wood will get a little bit softer and a little bit softer. And at some point, you will go through that wall. And because you've been hitting it so many times and it has been softened up, and you keep attacking it with the same level of ferocity, once you finally get through, what often happens is you go all the way through. And then all of a sudden, you're stuck up to your shoulder with your arm all the way through the wall because you've been hitting it so many times, and then boom, it just bursts on through.
Yeah, at some point it's going to break down.
It's like a dam breaking. If you've ever seen or studied that in physics, first it's little droplets, and then it gets bigger, and then boom, it just explodes. Yeah, and that's what happened here, and that's what happens quite often, not all the time, but quite often in the stock market, and we did see it right here. Now, another aspect of this that was verifying the likelihood of this event was the volume profile. We've been talking about this for quite some time as well. Down volume on red days has been much higher than the up volume on the green days. And that has meant lately that the big money, see, you and I and all of the retail investors in the world, we cannot really make a dent in the big volume profiles of what we're seeing here. This is big money. Okay, this is the hedge funds. These are the pension funds. These are the sovereign wealth funds that exist in different countries. This is the big money people out there. And when they're moving, they're like dinosaurs tromping and ramping through a forest. They cannot hide their movements and their motions. And this is evidence of that. And when they are selling, they have been selling aggressively. And when they have been buying tepidly. And that has been telling us that for some time, there is the potential, doesn't mean it's going to happen, of course, but there is the potential for a bigger level of a displacement or a downside pullback. And that's exactly what happened. And when the market was pulling back these 3 days, the volume just went up and up and up.
Yeah.
And here today, we get a rebound, and the volume is nowhere close to these down days of the last several weeks. Nowhere close. So that's it's already showing you. It's already showing you that the big money is not that interested in getting after this dip. Already, like one day, the devastating selling that went on in the last couple of days, and one day they're already saying, I don't want it. Now, this is compared to the last almost over 4 years, because again, we haven't seen selling like this since March of 2020. So a little less than 4.5 years. And in the past 4 years, millions and millions and millions of investors and traders from around the world have gotten into the stock market for the first time.
Yeah.
And in 2022, there was a very mild bear market, a very like pansy type of a thing. Okay. Very wimpy bear market, but it did meet the standards of a bear, but it was very, very mild compared to history. So we get a little bit of selling in the last 3 days, and these people are just crying. And then it goes up the chain. You've got professors from NYU, like Professor Siegel, for example. You've got the big money managers, the pension fund managers, even government officials, all crying to the Fed, oh, you've got to cut rates because the stock market went down for a couple of days.
It's not even crazy.
Wah. Get your shit together.
Is it me, Romulus, or is it like, yo, we're only 7% from all 7% from the all-time high.
Right. And they're crying like a bunch of little
that's
bitches.
not a big deal, is it?
No. They're crying like a bunch of little bitches. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what they're doing. That's what this is saying. All they want is for the government to fix everything and throw them money, which is what they did in COVID, and they kept going for years. It didn't matter whether it was Republican or Democrat. They were both guilty of this. And they have completely brainwashed the public, and it wasn't just America. This was countries all over the world. They've completely brainwashed the population that if there's the slightest bit of discomfort, just a little bit of a ripple, oh, come and save me, come and make me money, make my stocks go higher again.
Yeah, because is it me, or is it like the stock market is up fucking nine almost 10% for the year still?
Yeah.
So like, why is everybody tripping over
That's
like
what
this
I mean.
little?
That's what I'm talking about. Because the Fed is not. I have a lot of disagreements with the Fed, but in this case, we will probably be on the same page. They will not listen to this nonsense. They last week they announced they will probably cut rates at the late September meeting. They're most likely, unless the market really gets hammered over the next 4 or 5 weeks, they're probably not going to take any type of a move. They're not going to bend down to that pressure. They're not going to give into it, which is the right thing to do, because people have to learn that there's risk in the stock market. You can't just sit there and buy NVIDIA and think that the dumb thing's just going to keep going up and up and up forever.
Yeah.
You can't sit there and just say, oh, AI, Microsoft, and the thing goes, no, look at that. It doesn't go up forever. Oh, you can't say, well, I see Amazon packages all over the place. Well, whoops. No, I'm sorry. There's something called valuation, which is what you pay for something. And there's no good value in these big AI tech-related stocks. There hasn't been for quite a while. And people have to learn about the 4-letter word that they hate. It's called risk.
And then it's like, is it me, or like, do these people not know that these companies were overvalued? Like, do they not know how to read P ratios? They don't notice it?
What they didn't, whether they knew it or not, they were just hoping that the government would do what it does, and it's bail them out of any minor little complication. I'm listening to some of these Olympic athletes, and they're crying like someone out there, one of these athletes saying, oh, I can't even pay my rent, or there's no air conditioning in my room. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you all. My great uncle Joe jumped out of an airplane January 27, 1945, over the country of France. He never came home, damn it. He's buried in that country for you. So stop bitching. This is what happens in life. Prepare, work. That's how you avoid this stuff. And when you work, you get to take advantage of moves like this and put the money in your pocket. That's what happens. when you know what you're doing, which is one of the things you'll learn tomorrow afternoon at 4:15 p.m. Eastern time in our Discord. Very exciting. So what are we talking about here? The market got a little oversold on the short term in the sell-off, and that makes sense. It was going down, like you said. It almost hit 10% on the S&P 500, not quite, but almost 10% from high to low. The low yesterday during the morning trading when it was going crazy and going nuts. All right, Nasdaq though, 100 specifically, fell about a little over 17% high to low, which was pretty severe in a short amount of time. But I'll show you something that was even more nuts. Look at this. Hold on, here we go. Nikkei. This is the Japanese stock market from high to low. The high right there, July 11th. The low yesterday on August 5th. That's a 28% drop.
Jesus.
That's something, huh?
Yeah, that's intense.
Yep. That really is COVID-like.
Yeah.
COVID-like. The S&P fell 32% in that month-long COVID crash. So this has a resonance of that. Now, again, the stock market did reach a short-term oversold basis yesterday morning. It may not be over. The bounce may not be over. I wouldn't be surprised if it continues for a few more days, perhaps even a few more weeks. It's possible, not probable, but it is possible that can continue. But the highest probability event over the next 8 weeks, Brandon, is that the ultimate lows have not yet been seen of the correction that began 3 and 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that? Because when selling like this comes to town, trend lines and moving averages are broken. The volume profile remains more bearish than bullish despite the selling. And don't forget what time of year it is. What month is it?
Yeah.
What month is it,
August,
everybody?
Man.
Everybody, what month is it? And I'm hearing a digital echo of August. That's right.
Yeah.
September is the most bearish month of the year, followed by August. This is the bear's time. This is when he is fully out of hibernation. This is when he is in absolute hunting mode, trying to store his food up, his kills up for the winter. This is when he's striking. This is his time. And by the way, it is also the time of the Centurions in the Victory Unit Legion, just because we thrive in volatility, up or down, it doesn't matter. When everyone else is losing their heads, we have been trained to keep ours. And therefore, that is one of the reasons why we dominate so effectively. And I'll give you an example. One example. We used an option play on this particular ETF, this basket. It's a small cap type of thing. What it is doesn't matter as much. But I want you to think of this. We essentially bought this yesterday right there at the low.
Yeah, I remember.
Of the day. You got the text.
Yeah.
You could show everybody the text. You could show them your phone, the timestamp and everything and what we said. At the low, when the entire investing and trading world, the lowest and poorest retail trader to the richest and most well-funded people in the sovereign wealth funds, they're all losing their bloody minds. Every one of them, except for the Victory Unit Centurion Legion. We just stepped right on in and we said, give me your money.
Yeah.
And we took it from them. We took it from them. And we do this and do this and do this.
Yeah. That's why you guys got to make sure y'all join the Discord, man, where Romulus is going to be teaching tomorrow. Romulus and the homie Greg, they're going to be teaching this more. It's
really exciting stuff because last week, like I said, we talked about the markets, but we also talked about futures trading. Yesterday morning, I started futures trading. My first trade was September of last year, so it's been not even 11 months. Yesterday morning was the craziest 2-hour session that I've ever traded.
Yesterday morning was intense. Yeah.
And I turned it into, I think it was my second best day ever. And I only did 2 trades. That was it. I only did 2.
That's all you need sometimes, man.
That's all I needed that day. And it was nuts and made a ton of cash. Followed up with another ton of cash today, by the way, although today was not quite as crazy. So good stuff there. Now, how much lower can the market go? Wrong question. I mean, you see the 200-day moving average. That's a logical place to expect a break. That's a reasonable place. If someone typed in, "Hey Romulus, I think maybe the market sell-off could stop there over the next month or 2," I'd say, yeah, I could see that making sense.
Yeah,
that makes a lot. By the way, it's still quite a bit below current price, but I can see that making sense. But you don't want to anticipate it ahead of time. Let it unfold. Let it flow through. Let the selling continue over coming weeks. It may not be this week. It could be a few weeks away. It could be tomorrow, but let the selling come on through, let it flow, and then let it dissipate. Let it lose its energy and steam.
Mm.
And then step in and start doing some buying. Now, for me personally, in addition to the trading that we've been doing, the things that I am interested in buying may not be what you think.
Mm.
It may not be what you think. I mean, yes, there's the tech stocks, and I know how to take advantage of that without having to pick an individual stock. Okay. And that's something I will be doing. But really, I'm looking at some big companies that pay shit tons of dividends that no matter what happens, will most likely not lower their dividends and have no threat of bankruptcy. And then also have weekly options so I can collect the dividend every 3 months and sell covered calls. Verizon being one of them. I'd like to see the price come lower. Ford's another one. And there's a handful of other big companies. It's not NVIDIA. It's not Apple. It's not those kind of companies. Why am I doing this? Because my own purposes, my futures trading has been so lucrative. I'm making so much money there. But it is higher risk, of course. I want to take the cash that I generate from that, in addition to other things, and plow it into things that I don't have to think about, that it doesn't take any time, that's total passive income, but it's safe and still make some money. Like I can make 20% a year collecting dividends and selling covered calls on Verizon and Ford.
Yeah.
Which is 20% for doing nothing.
You got to sell calls too, right? Not just dividends.
Every Monday morning, you spend 5 minutes selling the calls.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
That's like a big part of what we do is selling covered calls and cash secure puts. That's like
selling covered calls, cash secure puts, and these are things that all the Centurions learn about in the courses that we have available for all the Centurions in the Victory Unit Legion. We can touch on that tomorrow as well. If people have direct questions, you can come to the Discord 4:15 p.m. Eastern time. We'd be more than happy to continue that conversation. But this is something we've been doing for years. It is incredibly lucrative. It's really easy to learn how to do. It's kind of a set it and forget it type of a thing. And what I'm hoping for over the next couple of months is to see a couple of these stocks. There's others out there, but I wanted to just give 2 quick examples. Bring those stocks down in price so I can get better action on them and get a better dividend yield. So a couple of ideas out there.
Can I ask you about a few different securities?
Let's have it.
All right. So the first one, because everybody's going to want to know about this. I'm not I don't own any, but Bitcoin.
All right. So Bitcoin got hit with everything else. I own Bitcoin. Well, I own an ETF called BITO, and I can explain why in a minute. But Bitcoin got hit with everything else out here. But you notice that, I mean, it's been hit just a month ago. It got hit pretty much the same price and flew up. This is for me as a Trump trade. So it's an option. It's a hedging kind of a thing that if Trump wins in November, this thing will go up a lot, and I don't care if it drops a bit on the way. So what I own is BITO. I sell the covered calls every week, and it pays a dividend every month, and it pays a crazy dividend. Like last week, $1.45, month before $1.50, month before $1.77. This is every month it's paying this. Like every month. So you hold on to this for a year, and it pays those kind of dividends. You're going to make your money. Like you have zero cost in the damn thing.
Yeah. Okay. And because when I look at the Bitcoin chart, that looks like a downtrend over the last few months.
As everything risk asset wise is, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yo, check this out. DoorDash.
Is it DOOR?
It's DASH.
Okay. There we go. Okay.
Like it's doing the opposite. It's like an inverse correlation to the market.
Yeah, and that's probably a temporary kind of a thing. I'll show you one other stock that I've been involved in the past, not for a while, but have been involved in the past that has a similar type of a kick. You got to remember, there's almost 4,000 U.S. stocks or 30,000 stocks around the world. The correlation is very, very high, especially on the downside, meaning when the S&P falls, most of the stocks fall, but not everything that day. Like let's assume this. Let's go with the assumption that the S&P 500 is in a downtrend, regardless of short-term balances like today and possibly over coming weeks, that we haven't seen the ultimate low of the correction that began in the middle of July, that over the next 8 weeks, downward pressure should more likely than not surface and grip the markets. This DoorDash goes up for a few more days and they'll come for it. They'll come for it. It's only a matter of time before they'll come forward. So here's another stock that I saw recently. Rocket.
Oh yeah. So full disclosure, I own a lot of Rocket.
bucking the trend, right?
Mm.
But you already see it had a good day here after the earnings, but the volume's already going down. And it's only a matter of time before this one comes right back as well. Because what happens is they're trying to find explanations. Oh, why did the stock market go down? Because that's what it does. But they can't. The financial media and the big machine can't handle that kind of an answer. So they try to find a specific type of reason. They're calling it the Japanese unwind for the Japanese yen, and it's a little complicated. But for years and years and years, Japan had the lowest interest rate of any modern major country. So people with money would borrow more money in yen from Japanese banks because they could pay a low interest rate. Then they would take that money and they would buy Microsoft and they would buy Nvidia and they'd buy Japanese stocks. And anyway, recently the interest rate market in Japan reversed. It went higher, causing those rates that they had been paying to spike up. They wanted to pay those loans back. They had to sell something because they didn't just sit on the cash. They went out and bought stuff.
Yeah.
The Japan bank was calling for the money. Well, then hedge fund A sells Microsoft to pay back Japan bank. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get that.
So that's kind of what we're seeing out there. We don't think that that's by far the only reason. Debt levels are at all-time highs.
Yeah.
Valuations, as we mentioned, for these big tech AI-related companies are at ridiculous extremes. That's also a big reason. And it was only a matter of time, whether it was the Japanese yen unwind or something else. But what typically goes on during periods like this, Brandon, is that somebody gets what's called a margin call.
Yeah.
In this case, it was a Japanese bank calling a hedge fund and saying, you owe us money. The interest rates have gone higher. You got to pay us back. So they got to sell their Nvidia and they got to sell their Microsoft to pay back the Japanese bank. Okay, fine. But there's other situations like that. There's other dominoes that are lined up because that hedge fund perhaps has lent money that they borrowed to somebody else that then bought some small cap speculative piece of shit. So now they've got to sell that to pay back the hedge fund that's got to pay back the bank. You see how the dominoes are connected like this?
I get it.
That makes a lot of sense. If it keeps going, you get a Lehman Brothers because it keeps going up the chain of command until something big really happens. And it's out there. There's so much leverage out there. And the Fed, I almost barfed yesterday when I read a Fed governor from Chicago. His name is Goolsby. Goofby, his name should be. He said, oh, don't worry if the economy gets a little displaced or has a little bit of a problem. The Fed will fix it. That's the exact quote. The Fed will fix it. I couldn't think of a more communist thing to say.
Yeah.
The Fed will fix it. But that's the thinking that gets these people in trouble, to think that they can fix every little problem and every little displacement, because they can't. That's why you got to let the free market roam.
You gotta let it get out there. Either you a free market guy or you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like you either you free market or you're not.
You know what? Here it is. You're either an American or you're a commie. And that guy Goofy is a commie. He's not an American.
Yeah, man, fuck Goofy, man.
That's it. Because Americans don't believe in that kind of stuff. True Americans. That's the bottom line. There's a lot of fake Americans like this guy, but true Americans don't believe in that. But again, that's the thinking at the highest levels. I just want you guys to know that the absolute highest levels of influence and power on a global basis, like think Skull and Bones and whatever you want, that's what's going on here. They're trying to save each other. They don't care about us. They're trying to save each other. And they'll make the attempt, but my feeling is that sometimes, not always, they can pull it off. Sometimes they can't. And when they can't, that's when things can really get interesting.
Who does care about us? Romulus and Greg tomorrow, man, doing the Traders Town live tomorrow in the Discord.
Yeah. We're going to talk more about this. We're going to talk more about futures trading. I told you, it's just just since we did this last Wednesday, we've had a couple of Centurions in the Legion that became funded prop traders, meaning they traded a little bit in the futures market for a few days. Yeah. And the firm that they're trading for that did the test, that put them to the test, they passed the test, and now they're going to be trading for real with other people's money. And the profits, 90% of them after a time become their cash, and they spent a total of like $100 to do this. Like, it's really crazy.
Let's go. Listen, man. Listen, you want to learn about that and more. Make sure you join us tomorrow in the Discord, 4:30, 4:15.
4:15 Eastern time. We're really excited to have you guys.
All right, man. Listen, thank you so much, Romulus. Let's get it.
See you tomorrow, Brandon. Bye.
All right, peace. All right. You know what it is. Yo. All right, so that was the market update. Yo, guys, do we have any more super chats? Real quick before I get into the next the topics for today.
We do. We have 2. Oh,
All right.
no, we have 4. All right. We have Mob 722.
Yeah. What up, Mob? I hope that Mob
BBC.
stands for money over bitches, man. I hope that's what that's in.
Random questions. Will the O-ring get damaged in the shower? No. Also, do you recommend wearing condoms even if a girl is on the pill? Yes.
These are all good questions. I never take, like she said, no. I take my O-ring. I wear my O-ring all the time. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'm in the shower, where I'm lifting weights, when I'm having interracial sex with my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing my O-ring, man, because you got to track it all. All right. Swimming, snorkeling. Yo, I was up in the Atlantic Ocean. All right. Swimming around, man. Stingrays came, said, what up? Little tropical fish not long ago. And it was all good. Should you wear a condom even if the girl out pill? Listen, you listen to me, MO. You listen to me, MOB 722. You wear a condom and pull out, even if she's on the pill. That way, you got 3 layers of protection, baby. You know what I'm saying? You wear it because just, you know, man, you putting it everything in your girl's hands, right? And she might mess up, forget to take her pill one day. You know what I'm saying? Or like take it wrong. And the pill's not 100% effective. It's not 100%. Condoms aren't 100%. Pulling out's not 100%. But if you got all 3 and you still have a baby, that's the second coming, man. That's divine intervention right there. That baby's supposed to be here. He gonna be somebody. All right. But if you take all those precautions, man, go back, listen, man. Especially if you a young dude, MOB, you know what I'm saying? I want you need to wear a condom, pull out, run in the other room and finish. You don't need to have no kids yet, brother. All right. What else we got?
We have Nomi.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon, how would you recommend I find a single killer salesperson? I have B2B software with high margins and a good offer with big deal sizes. I don't want to manage a full size organization as we can only take 2 clients a year.
You might have to go to an agency and try to find one. I'm gonna be honest, all my salespeople, they are former clients. They're clients, and so for my high ticket trainer, all the salespeople, right? They're actually students, right? For example, Chris, he's one of our top salespeople, but he made like $20,000 last month from his online training business. You get what I'm saying? 20K. And he's a sales, but online training, you get your time back, and he likes doing sales, so he makes even more money doing sales, right? All my clients all my students are former clients, except for white boy Brian, but he was, he's just been my boy ever since. But he's trained people as well, so I helped him build that business. So I never went out hunting for salespeople. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I would go try out a few agencies, and if you have any other, ask for referrals from maybe some other friends who have businesses, other people you know in the space. That's what I would do if I was you.
We have Lord Venom. How long do you take Bronkaid for? I'm only on day 5, feeling amazing. Thanks, BBC.
Yo, listen, Bronkaid, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you. Listen, don't do it. Everyone listen, don't take Bronkaid. Don't do it. YouTube moderators, I'm telling people not to do it. But for me, don't do what I do. I take it every time I'm cutting, and when I stop cutting, I stop taking it. But y'all shouldn't do it. I'm not telling y'all to do it. what I do is I go to the pharmacy, show them my ID. She makes sure I'm not a meth dealer, and then she gives me the Bronkaid, right? It used to be an all fat burning supplement. So the main ingredient, ephedra, used to be in all fat burning supplements when I was a kid back in the 90s. Clinton administration, shit, you know. But I guess some people died. Not a lot, just like a handful. People died from that shit, but they I think they was abusing it. Whatever. They made it. The FDA made it illegal for them to put it in fitness supplements. But you can still get it, you know. It's just you got to get it from behind the counter, the pharmacist. Same place you in the form is called Bronkaid. It's asthma medication, and the main ingredient is the ephedra. So now, like I'm kicking it old school, like we used to back in the day. I took it when I was 16, man. You could just get it from GNC. It was in. I used to take this shit called Rip Fuel. It had ephedra and a bunch of caffeine. I take that shit before basketball games. That's why I led the league in fouls. I didn't care how many points I got. I didn't even want. I would get pissed if they passed me. I was like, "Fuck, man, fuck you want me to do with this shit, man? I want to play defense. I don't want to shoot the basketball and dribble with you niggas. I want to play defense, man. I'll start hacking, fouling, motherfucking flagrant too. I want to get ejected tonight. I don't want to fucking score points. I'm a villain." So I say all to say, I take it when I'm cutting. All right, what else we got?
We have El Bezzi back. BBC, I'm black from Boston, since you've been wondering because of my profile pic. I just want to tell that because been watching the show every week.
I figured that, man, but I ain't want to make no assumptions. I ain't making no assumptions, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. Hey, I'm black too. Mostly. I don't, no, man, my dad was an orphan and he had brown curly hair and he spoke Spanish, but no one taught him that. He was like, "How you know Spanish?" Like, no say. And like he ain't know his parents and then so we think he might have been some sort of Latino and black, or maybe we don't fucking know, bro. But I remember I used to get teased in Chicago because I was the only kid on the South Side who was like as light as me. Like being a light nigga in the 80s. In the 80s was like rare, we ain't have Chris Brown and the niggas, yet. And it was new. Being an interracial nigga was new because you got to remember a lot of parts of the country in the 60s, it was illegal for interracial marriage, was like legit illegal up until like the late 60s, right? So like being a piss colored nigga was like rare, and I used to get made fun of because I had curly hair and I was light, and they used to call me white boy. Yeah, man, kids are mean. And then I went to Puerto Rico once, and mi gente, mi casa. Like I ain't know, you know what I'm saying? Maybe because niggas was looking like me. You know what I'm saying? First time I felt at home, right? But if you ask, I identify as a real ass nigga. If anybody asks. All right, let's get into the topics for today. Oh, there's one more super chat. What is it?
We have Bruce. You still think about Greg time to time. To me, you and him inspire me to the greatest version of myself. Much love and peace be upon you.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to you, man. Greg Plitt, rest in peace, man. That's why you can't overtrain. Rest in peace to Greg Plitt, though. You know what I'm saying? He's a good dude, and he had a lot of good workouts, and he was super fit. You know what I'm saying? He's super fit, man. That's why you don't overtrain. All right, listen. Let's talk about. I got advice on how to build good habits, and I call. Only some of y'all got that joke, and it was in poor taste. Greg was trying to outrun a train. That's how he died. All right. It was in poor taste. I shouldn't have said that. All right. I got that's a habit. Like making fucking foul ass jokes is a habit that I need to break. And I'm gonna show y'all how y'all can build good habits and break bad habits in the segment we like to call Habits of a Winner. In this video, I want to show you guys how you can build some good habits and replace them bad habits that have been messing up your life up until this point, right? A lot of you guys have really bad habits. Some of them just borderline disgusting habits, right? And you want to break these habits. You want to replace these with good habits that will help propel you towards the next level, help you achieve your goals. In this video, I want to break down how you can do that. Now, I'm well suited to tell you guys how to build good habits because I've built a number of habits that have really helped me become a successful. Okay. I'm well suited to tell you guys how to build good habits because, you know, my habits have been the main reason I've been able to get in great shape, right? Make millions and millions of dollars, build successful businesses, maintain a great relationship with my girlfriend, and really live the life of my dreams. But it's all about the habits, you know, and I want to break that down to you. I want to break that down for you today so you can start building some good habits for yourself so you can make some of yourself finally. All right, let's get into it. All right, so the big homie Aristotle once said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit, right? He was talking about building habits. It's very important. Now, the reason it's difficult for people to build good habits is because there's actually a biological reason. Your brain uses a tremendous amount of energy. At rest, your brain uses 20% of your body's energy. At rest, when it's doing nothing, right? But it's only 5% of your body's mass, right? And because your brain uses so much energy, right? And when you're thinking, it's even more labor intensive. When you're thinking or working hard at something, your brain's going to use significantly more energy, right? I've read once that chess players burn something like 1,000 calories sitting still playing chess because they're thinking so much, right? So your brain consumes and utilizes a tremendous amount of energy, and it wants to conserve as much energy as possible. Right. So there's a part of your brain called the cerebellum, right? And this is the section of your brain that controls complex functions, right? And when you're trying to build a habit, your cerebellum is working. But the problem is your cerebellum uses the most amount of energy. Well, it's one of the parts of your brain that uses the most amount of energy, right? So when you're building habits, you're using your cerebellum. Your cerebellum is using the most energy, right? But your brain wants to conserve as much energy as possible, right? So this is one of the reasons why building new habits is hard, right? It's because your brain is actually using more energy. It's more labor intensive on your brain. Right. So if you can build these habits, right, if you can, so you're going to need a tremendous amount of discipline and push through this part, right, of actually starting a new habit. And once you've done it for a while, right, once you've done anything for a long period of time, well, okay, not long. Once you performed any action, okay, when you perform a new action, it's happening in your cerebellum, right, the energy intensive part. Over time, once you've done it, it moves to a part of your brain called the basal ganglia. Now, the basal ganglia is a part of your brain that manages automatic functions, right? So once you've built the habit, it actually moves into your basal ganglia, right? And once it's in that part of your brain does not use a lot of energy at all. You get what I'm saying? That's when it becomes autopilot and you don't need as much energy to perform the thing. But you have to, first, it has to make it through your fucking cerebellum, then it moves into your basal ganglia, right? And once it's there, it uses way less extra energy because now it's a habit, right? But this is why it's difficult to build new habits and hard to break old habits, because the new habit has to use your cerebellum. Building a new habit utilizes your cerebellum, which is energy intensive, and old habits utilizes your basal ganglia, which don't use much energy at all, right? So it's easier to keep doing the thing you've been doing, right? Right. The problem is most of y'all got these bad habits all up in your basal ganglia. It's easier for you to do that shit, easier to do them bitch habits. You become what I like to call a basal ganglia bitch. The worst kind of bitch, right? You need to have enough discipline, right, to do the thing for a certain amount of time until it moves into your basal ganglia, right? Now you got the dope shit in your basal ganglia, and we in the basal gang, man. Throwing up the basal gang. All right. And and that's why when you're building, sorry. And that's why people see some of the things I do. They see me, tracking all my macros, tracking my water intake, waking up early, performing all these different actions. And they're like, man, Brandon's so disciplined. One of my boys the other day, he said, Brandon's one of the most disciplined people I know. And it doesn't feel like that to me because these things are habits now, right? These things are easy for me to track my macros, right? Right now, it would be difficult not to. It'd be difficult for me now to just put anything in my mouth like a whore or yo mama. Because my basal ganglia already got me tracking my macros, weighing my food and putting it in my fitness pal. It's like, it's easy to me. Like I was at dinner with my girl and some other people, and they saw me break out the scale at the restaurant like a psycho to weigh my food. And she was like, man, it takes a lot of discipline. I'm thinking, maybe 10 years ago, it took a lot, 10, 12 years ago, it took a lot of discipline. It's fucking autopilot now. It's like brushing your teeth. You get what I'm saying? Like, when a kid starts brushing his teeth, it says you got to fucking make this motherfucker do it sometimes. Hey, you brush your teeth? You got to make sure they brush their teeth, make sure they bathe and shit. But once you become an adult, most of y'all have hygiene in your basal ganglia. It'd be difficult for you to leave your house without brushing your teeth, without taking a shower. Most of you. There are exceptions. I see some of y'all in public and look. So that's step one, is you only need enough discipline to build the habit, right? Because it's only difficult when you fucking with that cerebellum shit. After that, so don't think you have to be disciplined forever when you're building a new habit. You just need enough discipline for it to become a habit. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people say, you read shit where people saying, yo, it takes 21 days to build a habit. There's more literature I've read that suggests it may take longer. It really depends on what the habit is. If it's some little shit, yeah, maybe 21 days. But if it's something that's super difficult, it might take longer. The truth is, it doesn't matter how long it takes, right? If it's worth doing, you're going to do it for as long as it takes until you get there, right? Right. So, but you just need enough discipline till it becomes autopilot. All right. Now, here's something you need. So that's step one. Know that you just need enough discipline to make it autopilot. And once it's autopilot, it's really a habit. And once it's a habit, you don't really have to think about it no more. It'll be hard for you not to do it. Hope that makes sense. All right. The next thing, you got to make sure you pick good habits. right? So I see. Let me show you why this is important. I'm gonna pull up the study. Hold on one second. I'm pull up the study where it shows that when people are trying to do a lot of things simultaneously that are labor intensive, it says it leaves the person depleted, right? And it makes them unable to engage in subsequent rounds of regulation. Meaning, if you're trying to do a bunch of shit at one time, if you're trying to build a bunch of new habits or do anything difficult simultaneously, things will suffer, right? So you want to really focus on the few things that are important. So here's the study I want to bring up right quick. Basically, yeah, you can show it. This is a study, man. You know, I'm not gonna read the whole shit to you, man. You read on your own time, you fucking nerd, right? But but this study is basically validating what I just said. Take it off. All right. You can read it on your time, or you can just fucking trust me, dumbass. All right. But you can't focus on the bullshit habits. So I see a lot of shit online, like, yo, man, make your bed, journal, gratitude journal, no fap. And maybe I don't give much credence to any of those things because as they may have some benefit, like what goal are they helping you accomplish? Right? I think you should really focus, especially initially, on habits that will help you accomplish whatever goal you have, right? If it's a diet, if it's you want to get in shape, it don't matter if you fucking make your bed or not. You really need to burn more calories than you consume if you want to lose fat, right? So you need to focus on your diet. Fuck a cold shower. It doesn't matter if you fucking jerk off or not, or if you watch porn or not, right? If you burn more calories than you consume, you will lose weight, right? If you want to make money, hey, you got to fucking work more maybe. Or like if you got a business, you have to be able to sell a product or service for more than it costs you to deliver that product or service, right? That's all you got to do. It doesn't matter if you fucking make your bed, if you got a gratitude journal, if you burn sage around the house. We want to focus on the things that are important, right? So I don't give a lot of credence to a lot of the self-help Instagram shit because most of it's not really focused on accomplishing a goal. I'm not saying making your bed is a bad thing, but I'm super fucking rich, bro. Like no bullshit. Like I got a lot of money and I have not made a bed in, I don't know, man. We might be on year fucking 7 or 8 of me not making a bed. Okay. We on year I've been with my girl 3 years. That's probably when I stopped making the bed. So like at least 3 years I ain't made a bed and I made millions of dollars. Millions of dollars, bro. I ain't never ever kept a journal. I'm not saying it's bad, right? But I ain't never did that shit. And I'm rich. I'm in great shape. I'm living the life of your dreams. And not journaling did not help me, right? I'm definitely not nofap. That shit sounds like that shit is the equivalent of astrology for guys, right? Maybe it has some benefits, but nofap ain't gonna help me make no money. Ain't help me gonna get in shape, right? So whatever, it doesn't matter if you fucking masturbate or not, right? Don't focus on the bullshit. We need to get super clear. The habits you build need to be the habits that will help you accomplish your goal. And don't use some of you fucking dumbasses are thinking of typing some mental gymnastics in the chat right now. Oh, but if you make your bed, it's gonna like set the tone for the day. You do it. Listen, man, you're gonna jump through a lot of mental hoops to try to make that make sense. Because you've built your personality around it, right? Or man, if you do nofap, then you're gonna have more energy to do this thing, and you'll be able to do all this. Blah, 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 blah. you're going to have to go through mental gymnastics to make them make sense because you've built your whole personality around not jacking off, right? Like you don't have to do that, right? We need to focus. We need to really narrow down what are the things that will help me accomplish that goal. So I want you to think about what your goal is or goals, right? What your goal is. Because remember, according to the study, you're focused on a bunch of shit at once. If you're trying to do a bunch of things at once that are labor intensive, it's going to be difficult for you to do any of them well, right? So we need to really focus our efforts on the important shit. So think about, hey, what's the one thing that if I did it, it would make everything else easier or unnecessary, right? As it pertains to your goal, right? So if you're trying to get in shape, hey, the one thing you need to do is probably start tracking your calories. That's the one thing that will help you the most, right? You know, you burn more calories than you consume. It doesn't matter if you fucking make your bed. It doesn't matter what your horoscope says. It doesn't matter if you fucking journal that day, if you took a cold shower. None of that shit matters. I'm not saying any of that shit is bad. I'm just saying, listen, man, if you out here being fat, you need to focus on the shit that's more important, right? If you out here being poor, you need to focus on the shit that's going to get you some bread, man. You know what I'm saying? Focus on building a skill, a high income skill, right? Fuck all that other bullshit, man. Because what happens is motherfuckers spend all their mental energy. I want you to think about mental energy or discipline. Think about discipline as you start each day with a full tank of discipline, right? But the more you use your discipline each day, the less you have, right? This is why at the end of the day, all you want to do is smoke weed and play video games, or you want to unwind or something because you out of discipline. You used it all trying not to jag off and writing your gratitude journal about it. You used it all doing some dumb shit that ain't gonna help you accomplish your goal. I'm not saying you can't do that shit. Do that shit after you get some fucking bread and you stop being fat. Then you can start doing the auxiliary shit, you know, burning sage and reading your horoscope, right? But you don't want to waste the discipline you have on shit that's not really moving you forward, right? So you got to make sure you pick the right habits. Think about your goal. Think about what's the one habit that if I did this, it would make everything else easier or unnecessary. All right. And focus on that. Once you got that shit in your basal ganglia, once that shit's fucking with the basal gang, then you can start doing some other shit. Then you can do some other shit in your cerebellum. But if you, I got to make my bed. I got to do a gratitude journal. I got to pray to the sun every morning or whatever the fuck, man. You wasting your discipline on shit that's really not going to help you accomplish your goal. This is real shit. This is real shit. Right? And motherfuckers good on the internet and start telling you to do all that other shit. But I know a lot of rich people who aren't famous and aren't gurus and aren't on the internet. And yo, some of these motherfuckers are fat. Some of these motherfuckers are lazy. These motherfuckers definitely ain't practicing gratitude, right? Or none of that other shit. They still got rich. Because that whole how you do anything is how you do everything is bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. How do I know that? Because I do a lot of things wrong. I got a lot of flaws, more than you. But I made sure that I got the right things right. The things that will move me forward in my life, I got those things right. And I'm a messy motherfucker, man. If I have an army of immigrants cleaning this fucking penthouse every week. Bitches don't even speak English, man. I have to have my girlfriend communicate with them, man. She got to translate with them, right? But if it wasn't for that, this place would be a fucking pigsty. But I still be getting money because how you do everything is not how you do anything. That's fucking bullshit. I know guys who are in amazing shape, poor as fuck. I know guys who are fucking super rich, fat as fuck, right? You need to figure out what's important to you. Focus on the building the habits that will help you accomplish those goals, all right? The next thing is don't focus on breaking bad habits. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but what you need to do instead of focusing on bad habits is go all in on these good habits you're trying to build. Once you picked out the ones that are important, and pack your calendar with it, right? And crowd out so you don't have time to do no bullshit. Listen, I got a lot of vices, guys. I've got a lot of vices. And the way I mitigate that and make sure it's not a problem is my calendar. So like check out my calendar. Like every day is packed, every hour of every day, right? There's literally no time for bullshit. Like this is my calendar today. You see there's literally no white space when that was sleep. So it starts 4:30 a.m. I'm up, right? And then it's just there was no white space today. That's not white space. That's just the color. That's what I'm doing right now. That's right now. There's no white space on that shit. So when I started packing my calendar with shit that will help me accomplish my goals, guess what? There was no time for vices. I didn't even have to try. And then once you're not doing those things for a long time, it's like anything else. They start to leave your basal ganglia and it becomes difficult for you to do it. Those of you who ever played an instrument and you fucking stop playing for a few months, what happens? Yeah, you kind of suck again. You know what I'm saying? Right? Or those of you who ever learned a language and you stop speaking it, yo, you kind of suck again. I remember I used to be way better at speaking Spanish when I was managing this barbecue restaurant in Queens because I had to talk to the servers and the cooks. and like, hombre, una mesa, vámonos. Right, and I was speaking in Spanish to these motherfuckers, and they couldn't speak English to me, so they would talk to me in Spanish, and I had to decode that shit. And I started getting, I could speak conversationally somewhat. I know I probably sounded like a motherfucker with Down syndrome to them, right? Speaking Spanish, right? But it was kind of we could understand each other, right? Now, man, I kind of suck at speaking Spanish. I'm not that. Oh, yo hablar un poquito español because I don't be speaking it, right? It left my basal ganglia, right? That's what's going to happen with your bad habits. Once you crowd them out with shit that'll help you accomplish your goal, you really crowd it out. Then you won't have no time to fucking be out here doing all the bullshit, doing all that fuck shit you was doing before. Like this is my biggest problem with like no fap, right? Like motherfuckers like, oh man, you gotta not jag off. You're like, motherfucker, you niggas got time to sit around playing with yourself? Like you niggas should be out here getting money. Why do you even have, you shouldn't be something you have to think about. You shouldn't have to fucking be all ceremonial about it. Why do you have time to sit around thinking about not playing yourself? Play with yourself, right? Man, how do I stop playing video games? Nigga, do something else. Like pack your calendar with other shit, right? You don't even have to break bad habits. Just fill your time up with shit that'll help you accomplish your goals. And if you do that for long enough, that shit'll be out of your basal ganglia, man. Straight up. Right? You want to stop fucking smoking weed? Hey, nigga, do other shit. Right? If you sit around bored, of course you're going to want to smoke weed. You're right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying weed is bad, or I'm not saying anything is bad. I'm just saying if these are things that people come to me telling me they want to stop. Just fill your calendar with other shit. And then you just won't have time for it. And over time, that should be out of your basal ganglia, man. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, and then the last thing you need to do is super important. Is you have to draw a line in the sand. All right. So sometimes people try to ease their way in this shit. A lot of times people will try to ease their way out of a bad habit or ease their way into a good habit, right? It's like, oh, I'm trying to stop smoking, right? And they like smoke a little less each day. I don't even fucking like when people say try to me. If somebody says try to me, I say, somebody said it today. They was like, yo, I'm trying to post every day. I'm saying, you doing what? He said, I'm trying to post what? You know what I'm saying? It was on one of my coaching calls with my students. And the nigga said, it's like, listen, man, you must be new here. We don't use that profanity around this motherfucking. Right? We don't say try around here. We ain't try babies. We gonna do it or we not. You know what I'm saying? You sound like you fucking try baby. Cut it out. Right? And the reason that's important is, let me give you an example. I used to smoke cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes from age 14 to like age 30, maybe 32. Or maybe 32. I smoke cigarettes every day. You know, obviously menthol, but y'all knew that because I'm black. I started with Newports because I'm from Chicago, man, South Side, you know. And then I went to Marlboro menthols, like those was my shits. Then Camel Crush, those. My taste evolved, my palate evolved, right? And and I really like smoking cigarettes, man. I fucked with that shit, and I was like, you know what? I should quit this one day, man, because this should be killing people. And and I started to get kind of, people started to know me online, and every once in a while, one of my fans would catch me smoking, and I'd be like, I didn't feel bad that he called me smoking. I don't give a fuck what you niggas think, right? But what the reason I felt bad is, okay, in my family, we are super hard to kill. Like motherfuckers everybody lives to be in their 90s. These motherfuckers drink, they smoke cigarettes. Some of them smoke crack and they live to be in their 90s. No bullshit. We are difficult to kill. We all die of old age or gun violence exclusively, right? We are so it also, not everybody who fucking smokes cigarettes gets cancer, right? You got to have the cancer gene, and that's something that activates it. Much like the mutant gene in X-Men, something has to activate the gene. Anyway, I was like, that shit ain't gonna affect me because half the niggas in my family smoke, right? You know what I'm saying? And these zero effect. But when I saw y'all, when y'all would catch me smoking, I knew that some of you motherfuckers do what I say or do what I do. And I was like, fuck, this kid's gonna start. I don't want this kid to start smoking because he saw me and he fuck around and die. And I played a role in it. So I stopped smoking for y'all. You're welcome. And I was legit addicted, right? Because has been smoking for like 15 years, 16 years, right? Well, no, longer than that. Yeah, long time. And I just quit. Like, it was super difficult at first, but again, everything is difficult at first. You got to remember that habit. It was in my basal ganglia, and you know the nicotine is addictive. I just quit, and it was difficult, but then I just got used to it. So moderation is more difficult than abstinence. Abstinence is easier than moderation, right? So the reason it was easier for me, because I just drew a line in the sand, said I just don't do this no more. Now I don't smoke no more. I didn't say I'm trying to quit smoking. I said, no, I don't smoke no more. And I just didn't do it. It was super hard. Pause. Like it was definitely difficult. I'm not trying to downplay addiction, right? It was definitely difficult, but I just did it. My cousin did the same shit, man. He was smoking crack. He was smoking fucking crack, man. This nigga was a crack smoker. I ain't gonna say which cousin it was. I got a lot of cousins, so this should leave him some ambiguity. And he decided, you know, one day, man, after he got fucking kidnapped by some dope dealers, and this was no, that's not when he stopped. Okay, I don't remember. I was young when he quit smoking crack, but it was either the time he had got fucking shot 6 times, straight up, sorry, 6 times, or it was the time he got kidnapped. I don't know. One of those was the turning point. And he just stopped cold turkey, man. He didn't try to fucking wean himself off crack cocaine. He just quit smoking crack one day, right? Now he's doing great now. He's got his own business. He's got a beautiful family. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't trying to kill him no more. You know what I'm saying? He's doing great. I don't want to give no more information about it because I don't want to say who it is. He might not want people to know he used to be a motherfucking dope fiend. But he just quit. But it's important. He made that straight up line and say, I'm not doing that anymore. Right? Same thing when I quit drinking. I just stopped drinking. So I didn't say I'm trying to quit drinking or I'm trying to quit with less. I'm not a fucking crybaby. I just said I don't drink no more. I didn't even say no more. I just said no, I don't drink. Somebody asked me now, I said no, I don't drink. Oh, you want to have a drink? No, I don't drink. And it's just done. It's like, I don't do that no more. I don't do that no more. You feel me? You got to draw a line in the sand, right? With the bad habits. And then even with the good habits, right? You got to replace those. You got to remember, you got to crowd out the bad habits. All right, I don't do that no more. And you got to replace those with good habits, right? And you got to go all in, like be kind of ruthless with it. Like be consistent, ruthlessly consistent. Because the reason people lack consistency when they're trying to build a new habit or trying to do something is because they accept inconsistency. Right? They accept it for themselves. So a lot of times people will, I've seen this a lot because I've been in the fitness industry. They'll be do good for their diet for 2 weeks or maybe even a month. And they'll be like, I deserve this. I deserve to quit. And it's like, oh, fuck you, dumb, you fucking dipshit. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is you do that shit, you don't, they don't say I deserve this treat. And they think they're taking a break. But really, when you take, you don't take a break, you don't cheat. What really happens is you quit and you have to restart. You don't think about it like that, but you have to restart. And that's what happens. It's happened to you, nigga, right? You went on vacation or something. And what happened? You stopped fucking with your diet and then you never got back on it. I seen that. I know that story like the back of my hand. The motherfuckers go on vacation. They stop. They don't work out or they have to travel somewhere and they never get back on point. I was talking to one of my clients, right? I still train some people. Don't ask me if I can like train you, fitness training one-on-one, because motherfuckers have to beg me to do it and I charge them a retarded amount. All right. More than some of y'all niggas make. Right. And but he was saying, man, I was so good, man, for like a whole year. I was tracking my macros. And then, man, the travel. I'm like, the travel? And he's like, yeah, I went on this one trip and I was eating everything. And then when I came back, I just felt I didn't get back on. I was like, yeah, because you fucking quit for a week. You quit for a week and you think you don't have to restart again, It's like, it doesn't work like that, though. I want you to think of something like a rocket ship. Building new habits like a rocket ship, right? When those rocket ship goes off, it has these 2 big fuel tanks on the side, right? And then those fuel tanks are full of fuel and they need all that fuel to get out the atmosphere. Once it's out the atmosphere, it can start to coast, all right? But however, you motherfuckers get out the atmosphere or you get close to being out the atmosphere and then you quit. Then you got to start over from the ground. You got to refuel those tanks. So starting is the hardest part. You motherfuckers have to do the hardest part over and over again. Right? That's what happens. You got to think about it like that. No moderation. No fucking moderation. Be a fucking extremist. Extremists get all the success. Real quick. Every time I give that rocket ship an example lately, over the last year, somebody says, oh, he stole that from Tate. First of all, Tate's my boy. I never heard Tate say that. Second of all, I said that on YouTube before Tate was even famous. Back when he was kickboxing niggas in Thailand or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Tate's the homie, right? But like, I didn't steal that from him. And fucking me or Tate, we didn't invent it. Y'all just don't read. That's a common example that's been given for fucking centuries before me or Tate were born. Anyway, I digress. Some of y'all need to build the reading habit. All right, because you stupid. All right, now all right, and what was we talking about? Oh yeah, yo bitch ass. Listen, you have to you cannot take breaks. Like, I don't even believe in taking breaks. I don't really believe in fucking cheat days anymore because I just seen cheat days turn into cheat weekends. I've seen this shit too many times. I've been in the fucking fitness industry for over 25 years. I've been a personal trainer for over 25 years. Motherfuckers will take a cheat day and then, almost always motherfuckers end up doing cheat weekends. And then next thing you know, they just fuck the diet in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to, I do 1 or 2 cheat meals. Last year I might have did 3 cheat meals One was on Jesus's birthday, right? The second one was, I don't even remember. I don't know. I do like less than 5 per year because what I noticed is another thing. The reason I do it less. I don't even think I've had one this year, right? Because not because I don't want to treat myself or some fruity shit y'all be saying. It's because I noticed that when I cheat, I crave that thing more the next day, right? Because you got to start the whole fucking process over, right? Did you crave that thing more, right? But if you just say, yeah, I don't do that shit, I don't eat sweets, I don't eat this bullshit, then you don't have cravings. The cravings really go away. So like when I see motherfuckers eating candies and cakes, pizzas and shit, I'm like not tempted at all because I haven't had that shit in years. I don't even remember what that's like. But if I would have had that shit yesterday, I'd have been like, I want some of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that goes for all, not even just diet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's you fucking don't cheat. You can't be out here cheating on your fucking girl and shit because you want some more pussy. You can't do anything. Like whatever it is you're trying to fucking do, whatever you've been staying on, right? Whatever habit you've been building, you can't deviate from this shit. You got to be fucking focused. But it makes it easier if you just don't do that no more. Like I'm not tempted to drink. I'll be with the homies. I'll be at dinners. People are drinking all the time. I'm not even tempted because I just don't do that no more. But if I drink, sometimes I would want to drink. And I'm not saying you got to stop drinking. I'm just saying that's what the fuck I do, right? You know what I'm saying? You watching this shit because you want to be like more like me. I'm not watching your YouTube videos, nigga. All right. If you follow those tips, I'm telling you, you'll be a little bit weird compared to other people. And it's extreme, right? But extremists, I'm telling you, man, extremists get all the big extreme results come from extreme actions, right? You got to be an extremist if you want to get extreme results. If you want to be a regular guy doing regular shit like all these other motherfuckers, then be fucking balanced, be average, you know, be moderate. That's what the average nigga does, man. He does things in moderation, he does things average, right? But the average nigga, average American has less than $1,000 in the bank account. That's a real fact. The average American is 17 pounds overweight. Fucking fat losers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Do you really want to be like these people? No, we want to stand out against these people. And so we got to be different. All right. Listen, if you want to know some of the habits I think you should build, I have a whole nother video you should go check out right now I built a tier list of the best habits and the fucking worst habits. All right. Go check that video out right now. All right. I'm going to speed run these super chats and then we got to go because I got to be asleep within the next 30 minutes. And I'm super hyped right now, so I got to wind down.
We have ketosis makes the hose drip.
Okay. I like the name. Hold on. I like the name. All right. What's ketosis make the hose drip talking about?
Taking Adderall to study, prescribed by doctor, and on low carb. I also take LMNT, but as soon as I have a keto snack, my focus diminishes. Any tips?
Yeah. Focus diminishes. You know, food slows you down, man. It's like a weird thing. Food slows you down. So here's what I do. I eat a huge breakfast and a huge dinner, and I like just small snacks throughout the day because food just slows you down, man. Your body has to digest it. Even if you're not tired, you don't have the same focus when you're a little hungry. I'm telling you, man, food slows you down. I don't know if that would work for everybody. You could do intermittent fasting and just fucking. I did that for years, where I didn't eat until 3 p.m. I stopped doing that when I went keto. I didn't feel like I needed it as much. You know what you could do? There's some keto snacks that actually spike your glucose levels a little bit. So this is extreme. Again, extreme is when it was maybe like 3 years ago. I wore a continuous glucose monitor for a month just to see which food spiked my glucose levels the most. And some stuff that I thought was, oh, this is keto, right? It would spike my glucose a little bit, right? But after like the first week or two, I really dialed it in, and the app I was using on the monitor, it thought I was fasting every day because my glucose levels were so stable. And the thing about when your glucose levels spike, especially if they spike a lot, if your glucose levels go above 110, your pancreas secretes a hormone called insulin. And insulin's job is to lower your glucose levels, but it'll do it indiscriminately. It'll take more glucose than it needs. Sometimes it'll take as much as it can find, and it'll take a lot out of your brain. And that's why you get these spikes and then dips. And this is why a lot of times, especially people on a traditional Western diet, get tired if they eat. I think the medical term for that is the itis, right? But once you really get that dialed in, you won't have that. So it might be what you're eating, right? You want to make sure if you're not going to be fucking crazy like me and wear a glucose monitor, make sure it's on this low glycemic index. You could also take a cinnamon pill. I know this sounds crazy. Take a cinnamon pill before you eat, right? Cinnamon supplement, because cinnamon has been shown to, if you take it before you eat, it'll stop your glucose levels from spiking. Even motherfuckers who eat carbs notice that shit. So it should really help you a lot. Oh, yo, my nigga, you on keto? Get this shit Ketone Aid. I took some before this podcast, 2 shots of it. That's why this shit was so turnt. You know what I'm saying? But Ketone Aid. Even if you're not on keto, you can take that. They don't pay me to do it, but I know the CEO, and he should fucking pay me. I'll take his money. We can't afford to pay the king. All right. It's a small business. All right. What else?
We have So You Wow, laughing my ass off. Rest in peace, Greg.
Rest in peace, Greg Pitt. I shouldn't have said that, man. That was in poor taste.
And then we have George. Hi, Brandon. I want to start drop shipping or e-commerce, and I'm looking for a mentor. Who can you recommend?
I don't like e-commerce as a business personally. I don't like drop shipping e-commerce because you're selling fucking. First of all, you're selling Chinese bullshit to old people. All right. Second of all, that should be taking like 3-4 weeks to get to the consumer, and they start complaining and shit. Third of all, Facebook doesn't like that shit. Right? Facebook does not like that shit. So drop shippers are always getting their fucking Facebook ads accounts banned and disabled and shit. Like they're the kings of that shit. They're the kings of that shit. And I just don't like it as a business model, homie. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't like it. So there's no one I can recommend you in good confidence, right? It's like it'd be like, yo, Brandon, man, who's the best heroin dealer, man? And I'm not saying you can't make money for it. And I'm not saying people don't make money from it, because the people definitely do. I don't like it, so I don't feel comfortable recommending you. But you might find somebody, you might be successful with it, right? Don't let me discourage you. I've done it before. Like I've done it. And just not a big fan. All right, guys, this has been another episode of the Victory Talk podcast. We do this shit every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Hey, man, I think the Dominican black producer Aiden did a good job, man. What y'all think, man?
Holla at
The big homie, man.
Hey, shout out to Nima for being a great trainer.
Oh, come on, man.
Show Nima the love.
Shout out to Nima, man. This has been great. This has been great. Listen, when you guys, before we leave, make sure you sign up for the free newsletter, Big Money Methods. Right? It'll show you. It's gonna you click the link in the description, put your email in here, right? And you're gonna every week, twice a week, you're gonna get fucking articles written by me and the homies, methods you get big money. Also, if you're trying to build your online fitness business, if you want to learn more about it, I have a free ebook for you. It's called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. It'll really break down everything you need to grow your online fitness business, even if you don't have a big following, even if you're not certified, even if you don't have a lot of experience. It'll show you how to do it, put you in the right direction. Obviously, it's not going to fucking do it for you, right? It's just a fucking book, right? But it's a good book, and I wrote it. And it'll show you, listen, there's literally nobody teaching online fitness who's been doing it online training. This has been doing it longer than me. I was in the class of people who like invented it. Like, we were the first niggas doing that shit in like 2008. Me and a few other guys, and I'm the only one of those guys who are teaching it, right? So if you want to get that shit from the source, free link in the description. All right, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.